And so how did the Farm Innovation Fund help you with that?
Oh, well, it was the middle of the drought.
Yeah.
Well, 2000, well, yeah. It's
Towards the end.
Towards
the end. Still, it was still shit.
Oh, yeah. What time of year was it?
February.
February. Yeah.
And you got to remember
So
that
still
time
had-
because of drought and you know, a lot of the farms, they struggle on site.
Yeah.
Banks are a bit reluctant to play in the space, so that's why the Farm Innovation Fund sort of filled the gap for us. And like, these guys have had access to finance. And
So Hugh, do you reckon if it wasn't for that, you probably wouldn't have pursued it?
No, I wouldn't have done it. No,
Oh,
it
good
was on
job.
the cards. It was on the cards. You can come down here and have a look.
Yeah.
This is the old shed. This was on the plan, but it was like, you know, another drought. You don't really want to.
go borrow.
But you probably could have stretched yourself, but you don't know how much you're going to have to. It was going through, you know, like $15,000 a week in feed or something.
Yeah, right.
So like, you just not go, well, I'm not going to spend 230 now, am I?
Yeah.
And I've been talking to the blokes that built the shed, and they said 60% of their project came from
the Farm
Farm Innovation project.
Oh, that's
related.
fantastic.
Yeah. This is
great.
all.
And-
This is
but it
all
was
used to you.
But it was.
Yeah, well, it's 'cause you don't hear these stories unless you get on the ground and see firsthand what's happening.
Because we always badger the treasurer about these funds, and you know, and he of course backs us in, but for him to see exactly the difference it makes.
But it's also was local people, but local everything, wasn't it? Like-
Pretty well though. So ProWire, they build sheds and yards pretty well. They are based in Wagga, I think it is.
They're regional.
So they're regional. So the building guys came from Cootamundra and Wagga. So a separate bloke did the shed, separate bloke did the fit out, and a local bloke do the.
So good. It's not just
side.
the benefit you're getting.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
also the local jobs that come
Oh,
with
very
that.
much
That's
so,
why it's
yeah,
one of the
yeah.
best funds, and it's
Yeah.
not a handout, mate.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, 'cause
No,
they're
no,
paying,
it's
they're paying
not.
back.
Yeah, it's. I'm only the middleman.
Yeah.
Really, like, yeah. So a local bloke did flatten the pad, and then I had a local plumber, local electrician. So it was a bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I was talking to the ProWay, the company that did it. They said that 60% of their projects that are drought were funded by
The Farm Innovation Fund.
or associated.
We should work out. I mean, that would
Yeah.
lead to substantial jobs growth. during
Yeah,
that
well,
period of
they
time.
employ 90 people, and they've got all their suppliers are all regional New South Wales and New South Wales.
And you happy with the job they did?
Yeah, very. Yeah, they're very, very good job.
How old's this shed?
This one, I don't know. It'd have to be going pushing for 100, I reckon.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't know exactly.
So how are you going now, mate? Drought broke and
Yeah, great. Yeah, we spent it's worked out over the 3 years about 400,000 in feed, so that's sort of just like chipped right back at that. But, like it's and that's
amazing.
That's little.
And I was going to say, you're not a massive player.
No, there's people that spend millions. Yeah. You don't have to be very big to spend a lot.
Yeah.
No,
Only Yai uses those people. You wouldn't have expanded the shed but for the Farm Innovation Fund and the guys who came out here and did it. 60% of their work at that time in the middle of the drought was coming from
Yeah,
that
that's
side.
right. I can put you in
That's
contact
it,
with
there's
those
a
guys
new
if you want.
That's great.
I can put you in
But the
contact
other
with
good
those
thing
guys.
is,
remember that.
the other good thing is that like farmers like you don't want necessarily just a handout, but that little help to get going
Yeah.
because they can then fund it, you
Yeah.
know, ongoing because they make it back. But sometimes you just need the little.
Yeah. No, it was
that's what we say, mate. Hand up, not a handout.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.